So many of the HR leaders that I speak with, they want to be effective. They want to do an excellent job at their work, and they want to be proving and increasing the value that they deliver to their teams, empowering the whole organization, equipping managers to be more effective. But when they try communicating that to their executive leadership teams, those goals don't quite translate. The executive leadership team might feel like we have really big problems to solve, but we cannot develop or acquire talent fast enough to be competent to solve the problems. If they do not start investing in human skills at scale, they will not be able to develop, attract, and retain the talent to solve those big business problems. To work through confusion and conflict so that you can come to a place of understanding and execution and goal achievement. Doing that, it takes practice. It's not where you learn it once and then you're done, you have it. People skills are perishable skills. And if you are not continuing to practice those, they actually go away. Growing, developing, practicing, and using those human skills, which are so critical to business success. You will not be able to grow value in your organization. You will not be able to grow your profit without having human skills front and center in the development. And that can be really challenging in organizations where not everyone can afford to have a one-on-one coach. I don't know if you've ever sat through a training and you thought, oh my gosh, I just spent 3 hours and I don't know if I learned anything and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to use this. How do I even translate that to the kind of work that I'm doing? Do they understand the personalities I'm dealing with? These things are really challenging in my actual life. It's not all nice and soft and ideas like it feels like it is in the training meeting. Cloverleaf does know the personalities that you're working with, and it helps you to grow in your self-awareness and in your others' awareness. And understanding the differences highlights the flexibility that you are being invited to practice as an individual contributor. And as HR leaders, you can't customize your trainings for every individual person. And you also can't customize the person-to-person interactions. They're dynamic. Teams change. Every meeting is different. Cloverleaf's automated coaching helps to be doing that layering for you. The translating, the understanding, highlighting the differences, inviting new ways to take action so that you are building and affirming team culture and communication and a growth mindset on your team. Those little interactions are actually changing the culture of your organization to make it more curious, more productive, and more effective when it comes to teaming and collaborating. If you could just change that perspective to 3 minutes a day of something where you can say, yes, this is usable and this is how I can use it. Equipping your team, having those learnings separate from a 3-hour meeting every day helps to have more effective meetings. It helps your team to understand how they can be practicing these soft skills, the human skills of curiosity and empathy, communication, active listening, so that they are improving their own personal development, whether or not you had time on your calendar that week to go through feedback and to offer goals for what their growth could be. HR leaders worry about introducing another tool. It can be so taxing and getting your organization to adopt something. It just feels like more work, and it takes a lot of political capital to roll something like that out. Cloverleaf integrates with Slack and Teams. So there's no new tool that you need to implement or practice to get your coaching. It goes to where your organization is already working, at your fingertips, in the flow of work. I regularly hear from Cloverleaf users that they get a tip just in time, and it is so accurate and so true, and it is able to impact a meeting or change their perspective or change even how they approach a conversation with somebody. And it's about something that they already know is true. Like, they have that information that has been learned already, but what it did is it pulled it to front of mind. So they were able to remember that as they walked into a meeting with somebody, and they were able to manage and adjust their behavior behavior. I even had some folks talking about that, knowing that they were different. They choose to have meetings together to be thought partners for each other. They think so differently. They approach topics so differently. It's a stressful relationship for the both of them because it takes extra work for them to work through it. And they have been doing strategic planning together in that way. They've been doing some new program innovation. And it's because when they are exercising both of their strengths at the same time, they get better outcomes. They're able to level up in areas and they can mitigate risk together. And there's a creativity that comes from the different perspectives, but there is also a relational tension where both of them has to operate with a little bit more grace for the other person. They are practicing it, they are leaning in, they are doing the work of using their personality information as an asset to their interactions, and it is driving the business, increasing growth and profitability. It is such a success story for those two who previously would just grate on each other's nerves.